SOLIDWORKS provides a nice set of tools to deal with modifying sketches. We can select a whole sketch or parts of it to move, copy, rotate, or scale. These tools are very handy if you're working with imported sketch elements like a block or making sketch-wide changes. You can see I have this little L-shaped sketch on the screen, and I want to move this around a little bit. So I come up here to the Sketch toolbar, and if I look over here, I'll see Move Entities. And if you click on the drop-down, you can see we have quite a few different tools available to us. So starting with Move Entities, go ahead and choose that one. Select Entities to Move is our first option. Go ahead and drag a mouse box right over the top of that. Selects everything. And then I can either go from a from to move or an XY location. So I can switch between the two. If I want to just type in a value, I can just literally use the up and down arrows or type in a fixed value. Or if I flip over to from to, I can choose a starting point like this one here. And then wherever I put my cursor, it's going to drop that sketch. So I can snap it onto the origin, for instance, or I could just maybe move it over to here. Click when you're done, and it moves that sketch entities. If you didn't use sketch entity move like this, and you try to grab something, it would actually just stretch out. So that's not generally very easy to work with. Or you can select everything, and you can try to move it, and that works as well. But sometimes it's easier to kind of use that sketch or move tools. Next, we come over here under copy entities. Again, I can select everything here and choose where I want to start from. So I'm going to start from this point here, and then I have that kind of attached to my tooltip, and I can move it anywhere I want. So I can then snap it over here and make an exact copy of that sketch entity. Next, come down here to rotate entities, and I'm going to choose all these entities here, and I'm going to rotate them around this corner here, and then I'm going to choose the angle, or just click in here and drag to whatever angle I want, and click OK. We hit 45, click OK, and we've rotated those entities around. Notice it also broke all the existing relationships, which were defined as vertical or horizontal, so I was able to rotate that around, and it does clear all those out because those relationships are no longer active. Next, come up here to Scale Entities, and we again choose one of these entities to scale. Scale about a point, so maybe I'll pick this point here, and then I can type in the scale factor. So I can scale it up, or I can scale it down, and it keeps everything in a relationship to each other. And I can even copy that if I want, so I have an existing shape, and I can make a copy of it in a bigger fashion or a smaller fashion. When you're happy with that, I'll actually turn that one off, and I'll scale it up to about 1.2, and click OK. And finally, we're going to say stretch entities. So stretch entities, you can select part of the sketch you'd like to stretch out. In this case here, I'm going to choose these entities here, and I'm going to stretch about this point here. And notice I can just drag these entities now to wherever I want, and it just stretches them out, maintaining the relationship to where it started from. Drag it down here, click, and now I've got that stretched out entity. Same thing though, you could actually do with moving things like this. By clicking on a point or dragging things like this, it just changes the different values, but it allows it to all change at the same scale factor. These tools focus on working with existing sketches and making sketch-wide changes. If modifying individual elements, it's probably just better to work with the constraining relationships to get the shape that you're looking for.